everybody still wants to come to Las Vegas to experience Las Vegas.
Yeah.
The neon, the sounds, it's awesome. But I think that because of just the overlying money, maybe they're choosing different places to go to and spend their money elsewhere where their money might be able to go a little bit further. I mean, Vegas is expensive. I mean, there's good deals, but you got to look for the deals.
There's a reason they call Las Vegas America's playground. For generations, this stretch of neon and desert heat has meant one thing: anything is possible. A dusty railroad stop transformed into a global icon, glittering with casinos, showgirls, and the hope that maybe, just maybe, tonight is your lucky night. Every year, tens of millions made the pilgrimage here, families seeking the thrill of the Strip, bachelor parties chasing stories to never tell, newlyweds wanting their own shot at a Vegas wedding chapel. Las Vegas became the city that sold fantasy by the hour, where fortunes could change with the spin of a wheel or the flip of a card. No city did spectacle better. From Frank Sinatra singing at the Sands, to Celine Dion's sold-out residencies, from the mob's early empire to billion-dollar mega-resorts rising out of the Mojave Desert, Vegas was never just about gambling, it was about reinvention. When the old casinos faded, they were blown up on live television, replaced with something even bigger, flashier, bolder. People moved to Vegas not just for the jobs, but for the vibe, a sense that life could always be remade, that tomorrow might be the night you strike gold. It was the American dream, condensed and bottled in neon, 24 hours a day. The numbers proved it. At its peak, Las Vegas hosted more than 42 million visitors every year. Its resorts brought in over $7 billion annually in gaming revenue. And that was just from the casinos. Real estate boomed, and new neighborhoods sprawled out into the desert. Unemployment was low, opportunity felt endless, and Las Vegas became a magnet for workers from every state and every background. Even the last crisis, the pandemic in 2020, couldn't keep Sin City down for long. By 2022, the Strip was roaring back, concerts selling out, conventions returning, new towers lighting up the skyline. For many, it seemed like Vegas had proven it was truly unbreakable. But beneath all that sparkle, something was shifting. By the middle of 2024, the first cracks began to show. Room rates started to dip. Insiders whispered about slow weekends nights when the Strip wasn't even half full. Small business owners quietly admitted, it's getting harder to make rent. Casino floors that used to be packed at 3 a.m. suddenly had empty tables. People who once saw Vegas as a ticket to a new life now started looking for the exit. Was it just a slow patch, or the start of something bigger? Because if Las Vegas, the city that always found a way to win, is struggling now, what does that mean for the rest of us? In the next part, we'll uncover the warning signs you're not supposed to see, and how a city built on luck may finally be running out of it. As the calendar turned to 2025, the cracks in Las Vegas's shining facade were no longer hidden. What started as whispers in back offices and empty hotel lobbies turned into headlines across the nation. The Nevada Resort Association reported that hotel occupancy in the city had dropped below 60% for the first time in more than 3 decades. For Las Vegas, where even slow seasons used to mean sold-out weekends, this was unthinkable. Along the Strip, marquee signs offered deep discounts and free buffet vouchers. But even those weren't enough to fill the rooms. On a Saturday night, the heart of Sin City, you could walk for blocks and find only a trickle of tourists, no longer the unstoppable river of excitement that used to sweep through every casino and nightclub. Bartenders and waitresses whispered about how their shifts had been cut. Maria, who'd worked at a casino bar for 11 years, now waited by her phone every week to see if she'd even get scheduled at all. Unemployment in Clark County, which includes Las Vegas, ticked up to 7.3%, the highest since the pandemic. For every story of a tourist splurging at a fancy steakhouse, there were a dozen stories of hotel housekeepers, Uber drivers, cooks, and security guards quietly let go, told that business was just too slow to keep them on. Tony, who'd moved to Vegas with big dreams in 2015, found himself searching for work for the first time in a decade. "I never thought I'd see this city so empty," he said, staring at the flashing lights outside the Bellagio. "But I also never thought I'd be worrying about making rent." It wasn't just the workers feeling the pain. Small businesses, souvenir shops, pizza joints, family-run diners saw their daily sales drop by 30%, then 40%, and for some, even more. Many simply closed their doors, unable to outlast yet another dry spell. On the city's edge, rows of newly built houses sat empty, for sale signs fading in the relentless Nevada sun. The real estate boom that had fueled so many dreams now looked like a mirage. Home prices, once soaring, had dropped by nearly 12% in a single year. Some neighborhoods, just a few years ago filled with families and new arrivals, now saw moving trucks lined up every weekend, families packing up and heading for Arizona, Texas, or anywhere else opportunity seemed brighter. Casino revenues, once the envy of the world, fell to their lowest point since 2013. The big companies put on a brave face, but behind closed doors, the mood was grim. New projects were shelved, investments postponed, and rumors swirled about even the most iconic casinos struggling to make payroll. Economists on television started to talk, not just about a Vegas slowdown, but about something bigger, a sign that the American consumer was tapped out, that the entire engine of growth might be stalling. All across social media, visitors posted videos with titles like "Vegas is empty," "Where did everyone go?" and "Regret visiting Las Vegas." Longtime residents spoke of seeing their city's spirit drained away. Local radio hosts debated whether Vegas was still the entertainment capital of the world or just another cautionary tale. As more people left, school enrollment dropped, and even city services started to feel the pinch. For a city that built itself on the idea that you could always win big, the losing streak now seemed endless. And for the rest of America, the sight of Las Vegas, so often a symbol of hope and reinvention, suddenly struggling, sent a chill through anyone paying attention. Because what was happening in Vegas was more than just a downturn. It was a warning. If even the city of dreams could hit rock bottom, maybe no place was safe. Las Vegas has always been more than just a city of bright lights and blackjack tables. For decades, it's been a barometer for America's economic mood swings. What happens here is often the first warning sign of what's coming for everyone else. Back in the summer of 2008, as the Great Recession swept across the country, nowhere was the crash harder or faster than in Vegas. Entire neighborhoods stood unfinished, construction cranes stopped mid-sky, and thousands of homes fell into foreclosure. The unemployment rate in Las Vegas soared to more than 13%, nearly double the national average at the time. As casinos laid off staff, restaurants shuttered, and the dream of easy money turned into a nightmare, it became clear: when Sin City falters, the rest of America isn't far behind. But why is Las Vegas such a powerful signal for the nation's fortunes? The answer lies in the city's DNA. Vegas thrives on risk, on people's willingness to spend, invest, dream big, and gamble on the future. When the American consumer feels confident, the Strip glows brighter than ever. High rollers fill the penthouses, families line up for shows, and cash pours into slot machines, restaurants, and malls. Developers rush to build new resorts, and neighborhoods sprawl out into the sand. It's the ultimate confidence economy. But when that confidence cracks even a little, Vegas feels it first, and feels it harder than anywhere else. Every boom and bust here has mirrored America's own economic story. The oil shocks of the 1970s, the tech crash in 2000, the aftermath of 9/11, the housing collapse of 2008. Each time, Las Vegas saw the highs and lows before much of the country did. Analysts at the Federal Reserve have long called Vegas a canary in the coal mine for the United States. In other words, if trouble hits here, it usually means trouble is coming for everyone else. It's not just history books that tell this story, it's the numbers we see right now. Credit card debt in the U.S. recently hit an all-time high, with millions of Americans struggling to pay off balances even as prices for basics like food and rent keep rising. Nationwide, consumer confidence surveys show more people worried about job security and the cost of living. In Las Vegas, those fears aren't just surveys, they're everyday reality, from empty hotel rooms to for sale signs multiplying in quiet suburbs. Every new recession in modern U.S. history has sent shockwaves through Sin City, but just as often, it's been Vegas that sent the first tremors. That's why, as the city struggles in 2025, economists, investors, and everyday Americans alike are watching the neon skyline closely. Because if Las Vegas, the city built on the American dream, is shaking, it could mean that dream is slipping away for everyone. If the signs of trouble in Vegas are once again the warning lights for the country, what comes next? As we look at the ripple effects moving beyond Nevada's borders, we have to ask, is the rest of America ready for what's about to hit? When trouble starts in Las Vegas, it rarely stays in Las Vegas. The city is too woven into America's fabric through its tourism, real estate, entertainment, and even its reputation as a symbol of risk and reward. As the Strip goes dark, and the crowds thin, the shockwaves are already moving outward. The first ripples have hit the travel and hospitality industry nationwide. Major airlines report fewer flights booked to the Southwest, and hotel chains from Phoenix to Los Angeles are quietly lowering their prices, fearing the same slump that hits Sin City. Conventions once anchored in Vegas are scaling back, canceling, or moving online, dragging down everything from catering jobs to rideshare earnings. Every lost tourist dollar in Las Vegas is a lost paycheck for someone, somewhere else. It's not just the travel industry that's feeling the pain. The slowdown in Vegas real estate is spilling into other booming markets. In Arizona, Texas, and Florida, states where many former Vegas residents are now moving, realtors are noticing an uptick in sellers desperate to unload homes before prices fall further. National construction companies, seeing canceled projects in Nevada, are hitting the brakes on new builds everywhere, worried the demand that once seemed infinite might be vanishing. There's a psychological effect, too. For decades, Las Vegas has stood as proof that America could always bounce back, no matter the odds. If Vegas starts to look vulnerable, it shakes national confidence. News stories about empty casinos and deserted streets go viral, fueling anxiety on social media and cable news. People start to ask, if it's happening there, could it happen here next? Wall Street is paying attention. Investors watch Vegas's monthly revenue and real estate numbers as an early warning for consumer spending nationwide. When those numbers start to slide, financial markets often follow. In past downturns, slumping casino stocks have preceded national market drops by months, serving as an early alert for broader trouble. And the government is watching too. In Washington, policymakers remember how quickly Vegas's last crash in 2008 turned into a nationwide mortgage meltdown. Now, as foreclosures rise again and city budgets tighten, officials debate whether they need to act faster to prevent a repeat. Some economists warn that if nothing changes, the pain spreading from Vegas could turn a local slowdown into a full-blown American recession. But the biggest impact is harder to measure: the fear that maybe the American miracle isn't invincible after all. When families see that even the city of dreams can struggle, it makes them think twice about their own futures. They save more, spend less, and brace for hard times. That, in turn, slows the economy even further, creating a cycle that's hard to break. So, as Las Vegas faces its hardest times in decades, the rest of the country is holding its breath. Because if what happens in Vegas no longer stays in Vegas, then all of America needs to pay attention. Across Las Vegas, the mood is anxious but not defeated. For many, the city's struggles feel personal, a punch to the gut after years of believing in the promise that Vegas always comes back. Take Amanda, who manages a small souvenir store just off the Strip. She remembers the crowds, the endless flow of customers, the laughter of tourists eager for a piece of Vegas magic. Now, some days pass with barely a handful of sales. It's not just the money, she says. It's like the city's lost its spark. People are scared, and when they're scared, they hold on to every dollar. Tony, a lifelong resident and former casino pit boss, has seen downturns before, but he says this one feels different. There's always been an energy here, no matter what. Vegas would bounce back. But this time, the bounce is slow. People are tired. They're wondering if it's really worth staying. Some of his friends have packed up and left, searching for steadier jobs and cheaper homes in states like Texas and Idaho. Others stick it out, hopeful that another boom is just around the corner. But even the optimists admit it's getting harder to believe. On the business side, hotel executives and real estate agents are putting on a brave face. In public, they talk about temporary slowdowns and the resilience of Las Vegas. Behind closed doors, the story is more complicated. One casino marketing director, who asked not to be named, confessed that management is under pressure from investors who want answers and quick fixes. It's a balancing act to keep the image alive, but cut costs. We've had to let good people go. Everyone's hoping for a turnaround, but no one knows when it'll come. Experts in economics and finance are sounding alarms too. Professor Linda Chavez at the University of Nevada warns that the factors hurting Vegas, skyrocketing interest rates, declining consumer spending, and uncertainty about the future, are not unique to Nevada. Las Vegas is just showing us what happens when people everywhere start to worry. When Vegas struggles, you can be sure other cities are feeling it too. Not all the news is bleak, though. Some locals are finding new ways to survive. Food trucks and pop-up markets have sprung up as residents get creative to make ends meet. Community groups are stepping in to help those out of work, and a handful of entrepreneurs believe that out of every bust comes an opportunity for reinvention. I came here after the recession in 2008, says Mike, who now runs a small tech startup from his apartment. Vegas can surprise you. When things fall apart, people here always find a way to build something new. I'm betting on this city again, even if it takes time. Still, for most people, the uncertainty is real. School teachers worry about budget cuts. Nurses see more families struggling with stress and mental health. Young people, who once dreamed of fast careers in hospitality or entertainment, are rethinking their plans. Nationally, Americans are watching. Social media fills with comments from former visitors, sharing memories of better days or warning others to wait until things settle down. Some hope that if Vegas can recover, it'll be a sign the whole country can, too. But others wonder if the story of Las Vegas is a preview of what's next for every American city. In the end, Las Vegas is once again playing its familiar role not just as a place where fortunes are won and lost, but as a mirror for the nation's hopes and fears. The city's fate hangs in the balance, and with it, perhaps, a piece of the American dream. In the end, Las Vegas stands at a crossroads, its neon still burning, but its future uncertain. The city has always been a place of reinvention, a desert oasis where the impossible feels possible, and the American dream is just one lucky roll away. But now, with empty hotel rooms, shuttered businesses, and families packing up for new beginnings elsewhere, Sin City faces a challenge unlike any before. What's happening here is more than just an economic story. It's a test of resilience not only for Las Vegas, but for the entire country. The choices people make in the coming months, whether to stay, to go, to risk, or to play it safe, will shape not only the fate of this city, but could send ripples across the nation. Las Vegas has been called America's playground, America's warning, and America's mirror. If a place built on endless optimism can struggle, what does that mean for towns and cities everywhere else? So the next time you hear that old saying, "What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas," remember that sometimes what happens here is just the beginning. Sometimes what happens here becomes a lesson, a warning, or even a spark for change that touches millions of lives far beyond the desert. Maybe, just maybe, the story of Las Vegas today is not just about what we risk or lose, but about how we respond when the lights begin to fade. Do we retreat? Do we rebuild? Or do we find, once again, a way to turn struggle into hope? I want to know what you think. Do you see the signs of change in your own community? Do you believe America is on the edge of something bigger, for better or worse? Share your thoughts and your stories in the comments below, because sometimes the most important part of what happens in Vegas is what happens next.